What up? It's your boy T-Bear and Reaction. So, I was debating to make this, based on a certain reaction because it's based on a sample of one of my favorite songs by, you see the shirt? I'll do it like this, Michael Jackson. But this is more so about the song that sampled this as well too. And this is became one of my favorite De La Soul songs because of it. This is the sample puzzle behind De La Soul Breakadawn by from L Train and Luke Kitchen. Do a lot of L Train Luke Kitchen videos as well too. He always come through with some cool shit as well. That being said, we're gonna check this out for Music Monday. Without further ado, sorry, I got the ring on. Let's check this breakdown out. Let's get it.
When you think of De La Soul, you think of musical collages. Samples pulled from all over the spectrum and stitched into something playful, soulful, and sometimes strange. Breakadawn is a perfect example. It sounds effortless at first, but pull it apart and there's a lot more going on. So this is Anatomy of a Beat. One classic track, the samples behind it, and the decisions that made it work. And after we break down how this one was made, we'll use those same records to see what De La Soul might have made on a completely different day in a different headspace. To understand why Breakadawn works, you have to understand one thing about the way De La Soul and Prince Paul were making records at the time.
We layered stuff, and people weren't really into layering samples. It was usually like one main loop, maybe some scratches. Our whole thing is like when we produced that album, wow, those horns are so cool. Wow, that bass line is so cool.
And this track taken from De La Soul's third album, Balloon Mind State, is a perfect example. According to Pos, the spark came from one of those strange moments where two records came together by chance.
I put together Breakadawn after watching the Motown 25. Motown 25 came on, Smokey Robinson was performing, and literally at the same time, I just happened to have the Michael Jackson record, I Can't Help It, on the turntable while he was doing Quiet Storm. I was like, I think these two records can go.
Wow. That's a coincidence right there as well too. Two coincidences that I involved with both I Can't Help It in that song. The Digger the Grace Brandon talks about how Can't Help It is a perfect quiet storm. I think he mentioned Smokey's Quiet Storm too. Was ironically those two go together for this song, and ironically, Pause was listening to Can't Help It while watching Motown 25 with Smokey Robinson. Cool connection right there.
The first record was Michael Jackson's I Can't Help It from his 1979 album.
My top one song. No more favorite song.
They take the opening two bars and turn them into the foundation of the track.
Also, they played that instrumental on the movie, yo.
And this is where the mix becomes really important. Bob Power, the engineer renowned for helping shape the huge low-end sound of A Tribe Called Quest's low-end theory, is also credited as the mix engineer on Breakadawn. Now, I can't say for certain this is exactly how he did it, but to my ears, the Michael Jackson sample sounds like it's been treated almost like two separate instruments. The bass line underneath and the Rhodes sitting above it. One way this can be achieved is by splitting the loop into two layers, a low-pass version for the bass and a high-pass version for the Rhodes. Then the bass can be EQ'd separately, giving it that thick, rounded, low-end weight without muddying up the keys.
It do kind of sound like that, a little cool. Yup. Because the bass is, because you think about the bass is pretty heavy on that as well too. So they did a good job with that.
While the Michael Jackson record was on the turntable, Pos heard Smokey Robinson and made the connection. But for this to work with the Michael Jackson sample, it had to be pitch shifted into the same key. And according to Prince Paul, that was a huge part of what gave De La their edge.
And I think what made us different in the way we produce stuff is we used pitch shifting, and people weren't really doing that back then. Like, we put our music in key, so we made them fit. So for example, if we heard a horn, but it didn't fit with a certain bass line, we'd shift it until it fit with the bass line. And that enabled us to layer a whole lot of different sounds on top of each other and make it sound like it belonged together.
So the Smokey sample was shifted up two semitones, then EQ'd to filter out most of the drums, bass and instrumentation, leaving mainly that vocal texture. Next came the drums, and for this we're going to the Pointer Sisters' Yes We Can.
Wow. And that's the other thing about there too. You think about the drums, sometimes you think it's like something they just did on their own, or a sample, or even different chops of a drum sample as well too.
On 222 there's this open drum section that Dayla looped up. And in the finished version, those drums feel heavier than they do in the original record. They may have been beefed up with extra drum samples, shaky mix, or most likely a bit of both. And this is where you really start to hear the collage come together. These records are coming from different artists, different eras, and different genres.
I would bring in a record, go, okay, we're gonna loop that up. Paz will come in, yeah, but what about this? Dave Trugoy will come in, yeah, but I think this would be good. Denise go, that's all right, but how about this? All right, let's put them all together.
The next record we hear is Daydream by jazz trumpeter Blue Mitchell.
Okay, and I got one. And that's the only sample I don't. Well, other than the drum sample, I didn't know too much about. The other sample I didn't know was appeared as well too. Only knew about the. Of course, I can't help it. The quiet storm and the na 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 chant right there.
Towards the end of the track, around 3:39, there's a 2-bar section that gets lifted, high passed, shifted up around 3 semitones, and slightly sped up.
Oh, that part. Oh, that part. Yeah. Oh, that part. Okay. Yeah. All right.
The main sample is Sang and Dance by the Barkays.
Yep. Na na na. Yep. Getting jiggy with it.
This may sound familiar to you. That same Barkays vocal later turns up in Will Smith's Getting Jiggy with It.
I topped it up.
Dayla used it as another small texture in the collage. And once you put all of those pieces together with the vocals, suddenly all these separate records become Breakadawn.
Nice.
But before we get into my audio version, a quick mention for my sample pack label, Loop Kitchen. If you're looking for samples to chop up yourself, I make full, soulful compositions with stems, so you can loop them, pitch them, layer them, or take them into a completely different direction. And here's one I made earlier.
Oh, it's coming through, man. You get a slab, nice. Nice.
Right now, all our packs are buy one, get one free using the code 2 is a magic number. And the link for the packs is in the description if you want to check them out. Every sample-based record is a chain of decisions. Where you drop the needle, what catches
hold on a second. I'm bad, let's keep going.
Your ear, what mood you're in, what other records happen to be sitting next to you. So just for fun, I wanted to go back to those same records and ask a different question. What if they chopped them on another day in a slightly different headspace? So let's jump straight into Logic and I'll show you exactly what I did with my version. So obviously I had to start with that Michael Jackson sample. So what I did is I brought it into Serato and I chopped it up because I wanted to use a different portion of the sample. And I'm going to do the same thing that they did where I split the bass and the Rhodes, but I've also got some vocals in there as well. So this is just the Rhodes and the vocals together, and I've used stems in Serato to cut out both the bass and the drums.
Ooh.
And no filtering or anything else going on in there. I've just time stretched a couple of the notes so they fit a little bit better. So I've then got the bass playing the exact same chops. And if I play that with the other part, this is what that sounds like.
Ooh, that sounds smooth. Oh, that sounds smooth. Ooh.
I really like those.
I want to hear the finished product on this one
as well. Next thing, we've got the drums. Again, we've got that Pointer Sisters drum loop, but I've just chopped that up a little bit to give it a little bit of a different rhythm. So let's listen to that on its own. Pretty similar, but I've changed it a bit. Next up, I wanted to use the Blue Mitchell sample. And obviously with him being a trumpet player, I wanted to use a part where he was playing the trumpets. So this is what I ended up with.
Ooh.
So there's a little trumpet riff, and then there's the one note with a delay on it, which is just echoing in the background.
Nice.
And then finally I use little parts of the Smokey Robinson A Quiet Storm sample.
Okay, I can't wait to hear the rest of it. Alright, ooh, this
And
is
that's
probably
like doing a little
dope.
call and response thing with the bouquets.
Wow.
So when I put all of that together,
Alright, let's hear it.
and then when I play those De La Soul vocals with that, you get this.
Ooh, that's like a dope ass remix on the cool. That's a dope ass remix on the cool. He need to put that. He need to release
So
that.
that was my little alternate universe version. But going back through
He
the
need to put
original
that
samples,
on
mostly
YouTube,
just reminded me
man.
how good De La's instincts were on their one. And if you enjoyed this first episode of Anatomy of a Beat, let me know what track we should pull apart next. And if you like the channel and want to support more videos like this, come and join us over on Patreon. There's a free tier for updates and behind the scenes bits, and paid tiers with ad-free videos, extra research notes.
Alright, cool. Yo, this was a good video to check out as well too. I might have shared this on my own though. Other than that, it's gonna be the first one I'm gonna do for Music Monday. The rest will be recorded later on as well too. As my wife, I think my wife's on the way on over. Other than that, yep, it's just something that's right here. Anyway, it's your boy T-Bear signing off. One love.